Welcome to the Power Lunch Podcast, your midday dose of boldness, brilliance, and a little bit of badassery. I'm Amy Sousa, here with my powerhouse co-hosts, Tracie Munce and Lisa Carmichael, and we're coming in hot to shake things up. Each week, we dish out bite-sized, high-impact conversations on business, health, purpose, wealth, and the wild, beautiful chaos in between. Whether you're building your dream, rebooting your story, or just catching your breath, this is your space to get grounded, inspired, and reignited. This isn't just another podcast, it's your power move. Let's go. All right, welcome back to the Power Lunch Podcast from the Glass Ceiling Foundation. Today we're joined by Dr. Shelly, founder of Eagan Family Chiropractic and Massage. Welcome, Dr. Shelly.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
This is going to be a fun one because we really don't know a lot about Dr. Shelly. We've seen you a few times at happy hour, but I haven't gone out to coffee with you. I haven't done anything like one-on-one with you. So what excites you about this community and what we're doing?
I think I have a real spot in my heart for women business and especially somebody who's really trying to juggle and be intentional about their family. I think that's obviously my most important priority are my kids. I have 6 of them. And ranging from my youngest is 15, my oldest is 28. And so all parts of, phases of motherhood that I've been in business going through from no kids to 6 kids to college to everything in between. And I think what I want to do is I want to be an inspiration to people that they can do multiple things and be successful in your family life while juggling a business or, a career, even just however that looks for you. And not having to walk around with a bunch of mom guilt or not choosing yourself to take care of yourself. I see that in my office all the time, that there's just a culture of women really taking on a lot and not having a lot of support sometimes with that. Or it's like this badge of honor, I guess, that you wear, like, hey, I can handle all this stuff and I can juggle this and that. But inside, you're just, it's a culture of connection through social media but people are lonely. And I think it's important to be able to find whatever that connection piece is for you, to be able to draw you in with other people, but then also feeling like you're accomplishing your goals and it's okay to have that too and be successful in it.
So it's showing up in their bodies. So they come to the chiropractor.
How does that present in their bodies when you see those women coming in that have some of those?
I definitely tired, fatigued, stressed out, anxious, pain. They carry the weight of just their life and all the demands that they have on them physically, emotionally, financially, socially. All those things are reflected. They're going to come out physically in your body if you don't deal with them. Definitely. So we see a lot of you're so as for me, what I do is like we look at the state of your nervous system. And if you're always in this state of fight or flight because you're stressed out, your body doesn't have time to rest and digest and to heal, to create, new cells to repair. You're always just go, 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 and your body gets stuck in that system. And then that's where the symptoms come from, that like I said, back pain to a lot of energy, or you're not sleeping, and your nervous system is just on overdrive. You got to calm it down with that. So
Is the first step an adjustment, or what's first steps when you see somebody like
when they come in, we definitely go through and sit down and talk with them about what's going on. Usually, something like a pain component is what brings you into the office at first. But when you really start to talk to people, you see, like, as chiropractors, we look at the whole picture. You might have a back issue, but we're going to look at the rest of you with that too. And in our office, we do a lot of things with, we have a lot of different avenues that we approach that with, from, nutrition to different modalities that we use on the muscles or spinal decompression with red light. We have weight loss. We have so many different things that can address the whole person instead of just the symptom. But yes, we move into that. We're going to address whatever it is that you came in for, which is usually a physical component. But that oftentimes leads to many other avenues of treatments or things that you can do from either in office to home. We educate a lot. We have different things that people can attend or, wellness seminars, things like that too. So we try to incorporate the whole person. And then there's a very good connection piece in our office because people get to know each other and they have conversations and my staff is awesome. And I think sometimes it's just the only place that people can go that somebody acknowledges them in their day or encourages them, or even for some older folks, honestly, we're the only people that ever touch them in the sense of like that physical connection of just that everybody needs. So it's a comprehensive appointment, that first appointment, but it often leads to more.
Yeah. How does investing in your health impact your long-term financial future as a business owner?
As a business owner, I think obviously there's the saying, your health is your wealth. Like if you can't make it through your day and you don't have that life or that spark because you're just trying to survive or you're stuck in the grind, you're not going to be able to be creative. You're not going to be able to make the energy expenditure of what you need to do to get through your day. Only, that not only that, but to create new avenues of income for yourself or expand your business or do something totally different even, right? Like just create something that is your dream. Like if you're so busy dealing with a health issue or you don't feel good, you just don't have the stamina or the energy to do it.
Right. Yeah. In saying that, what would you say are some proactive ways because a lot of people, especially women, is what I'm hearing, is that women will come in and they'll address the symptom, right? I have this backache, or I can't sleep, or I'm gaining weight, or I can't lose weight, blah, blah, blah. Hearing you, that stems from something different. So what are some proactive things look, I own multiple businesses. I have multiple responsibilities on a daily basis. I feel like,
Right.
there's some days that I'm a fireman, right? All I'm really is putting out fires, right? So what are some proactive ways to start with my health today?
I think it even goes back to just even your mindset as far as really figuring out like, okay, what are your goals? Where do I want to take myself? And then really looking at that and realizing that you're worth it. Like to make the choice to spend the time, the money, the effort on yourself. Like we're so good to do that with our kids or our spouse or friends or family. But oftentimes it's really hard for us to choose ourselves to invest in. So like proactively, the just being able to schedule time for yourself to go work out or even just to have downtime and not feel like you're always having to be productive. Like you don't always have to be go, go, go and do, do, do. Um, I think that that's super important, but like physically, even if you can, you know, and it's a process. It's not going to all happen at once, but if you can just make some good choices about what you fuel your body with. And not to say that you're never going to eat something that's not good for you, but to realize that you are worth it, right? You're valuable. You are worth like the part that you can invest in yourself. I think that is huge of just coming to that awareness of that and then spending the time to, yes, you do have to make an appointment to come and get adjusted. You should get a massage on a regular basis and it's not a luxury, it's a necessity to keep yourself going so that you can address things when they're small instead of waiting till they're big. And then you're spending 10 times more time trying to address something that could have been fixed, but we don't take the time to choose that. So I think it's a lot of that is just discover whatever needs to change early on and then make those smaller changes sooner than later. You say they say you pay now or you pay later. right? Like and it's always more to wait that and be reactive instead of proactive. Definitely.
Yeah, I love that. So, Dr. Shelley, there's so many things you're doing out in our community. Tell us a little bit about outside of the business, what you're up to.
Well, I still have 3 teenage boys at home, so there's a lot of sports and a lot of testosterone in my house as far as being busy and active and whatnot. I do have a great, group of friends. I do a lot with the community with the Beyond Yellow Ribbon.
Yes.
Definitely, I like to volunteer with that. I'm a veteran myself. I was in the Air Force. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was a great decision for me. And I believe in just trying to give back and trying to help those people who need our help right now, especially. I do a lot of that with my kids because I want them to see that life is about the interactions that you have with people and that you give oftentimes when you're not asked, but it's for us, it's the right thing to do. Um, I love to work, honestly. I love to create. I'm in the process of creating some different businesses and different opportunities that are not in, full effect yet, but they're coming.
To see it.
Yeah, I'm excited and I'm trying to remain, obviously keep my life in balance and not just go all towards that, but I love to be outdoors. So I'm excited for spring and summer, especially. I like to travel. I have kids that are in different parts of the country and different countries, so I get to go see them often. So I have a busy, full life, which is nice.
Love
It's
that.
very nice. Yes. And it keeps me exploring different parts of myself and really, working on that too. So I love the people component, the connection of being able to get involved in the community and with different resources with that.
Absolutely.
Good.
So I don't know that our listeners are familiar with the Eagan Family Chiropractor Clinic. So you have several doctors at your location.
I
And
do. There's 3 of us. So
Okay.
there's 3 doctors. We have 3 massage therapists. I have 4, I guess you'd say, is front desk people, and then we have some different people that help with a lot of therapies. So we are pretty technology based and innovative when it comes to it's not just a traditional adjustment there. We do a lot of different modalities and newer ways to help the body. And so with that comes obviously there's a staff demand with that too. But we have really went to the innovative side when it comes to
I've been watching your socials
yes,
with your light therapy
yeah.
and all that.
We have a lot of fun.
That.
Well, we have a lot of fun. So some of them are probably pretty
They are. They're
funny, but red light is just a really good therapy for many things. So it helps with skin, it helps with muscles, it helps with even just your brain, inflammation, neuropathy, back pain. We use it for so many different things in the office, but it's good for just general wellness too, especially living here where you don't get enough sun. You need that stimulation, with just your body being able to get good light.
Yeah.
And light is healing. Like everybody always feels better, right? When they're out in the sunshine. And with our beds, what makes them a little bit different is there's something that's called PEMF, and it's basically the same thing as grounding, where you get your feet in the grass or you're by the ocean, pick up these different ions basically. And so we have in our beds, we have mats in there that do that. So I try to make things as efficient as I can and let's load you up with as much as we can while you're there. So I think that really helps with the red light. Just helps with energy. I think everybody can use more energy and feel better, sleep better. So we do a lot of that kind of stuff in our office where, I mean, you could say maybe it's biohacking, where it's not to the extreme of like you have to do this. It's not so regimented, but we definitely try to incorporate whatever we can to help the person that's there to get the best benefits for their optimal health.
How would we get started with red light? We call the
Yes, you can call the office on our 651-405-3990, or you can go to our website, eganchiro.com. There's lots of Same thing with like we're on Facebook and Instagram, and we always are running some different specials where you can come in and try it for a reduced, rate. We'll always meet with you and have a consultation and be, transparent about what it is and how much it costs. And it just depends on what you're coming in for, is the length of the treatment that we would recommend for you. But then we have lots of people who use it just as wellness.
Okay.
Just
I have a
for-
question about red light. Yeah. So you see all the influencers wearing the red light mask. Do I just go on Amazon and buy a red light mask?
No, not necessarily, because there is a very big difference on quality. And so that has all to do with how many wavelengths are in it, what the wavelengths are. There's not a lot of regulation on some of those. So it's all about physics, honestly, and what you have in your machine is what are going to get you the results that you're looking for. And I always tell people, like, you get what you pay for, really, and are they beneficial? They will help you, but it's based on time, right? A therapeutic dose of a red light is based on how powerful the bed is, or the mask or the pad, based on the power and the time. And so you could get the same effect in our bed that takes 10 minutes, but it would take you 3 hours to wear something or have it, because it's about power. And so
Is there a biohack? Because you mentioned that word,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it's kind of a buzzword right now.
Mhm.
Is there a biohack that you would say this one works? We need to make sure we're doing it.
That's a good question. There's me being a chiropractor first and foremost. I would say absolutely being adjusted and having your nervous system that controls your whole entire body. The best that you can have that in alignment where your brain is communicating with your body. Obviously, that's the best thing that you
So
can do.
once a month, once a week,
Yeah,
so just 6 times. What do you think?
yeah, it depends.
Just for somebody like I don't have a lot of pain.
I'd say it at least once a month.
Once a month.
You know,
Okay.
I mean,
Personally, I
like
go
twice.
once a week,
Yeah,
but I don't have any pain.
yeah. So we'll go for health.
Okay.
I would say probably, ideally is twice a week, twice a month,
Okay.
if you can do that.
So
That's
sorry,
great.
tactic. Got it.
Yeah. I think the red light is huge here, honestly. The red light, you can use it for so many things, but more so, it stimulates the cell to be more efficient. So if you have more energy in your cell, you're just going to have more energy in your body. Everything's going to work better. It's going to run cleaner. It helps to detox. It helps with inflammation. It helps with your mood. Like, it just helps. And light is very, very healing with that.
So being proactive is a necessity. And I'm wondering, how do you take care of Shelly? How do you take care of yourself?
It's taken me a while to figure out that whole balance. And I think that goes back to when I was talking about, like, you really do have to prioritize your own health. I put a lot of emphasis on what I put into my body, what I put on my body. I don't use things with chemicals. I don't clean with chemicals. So I use a lot of essential oils.
That smell delicious.
Thank you.
Yeah. I wait on the white of it.
Yes, yes. So I really try to keep the chemicals out of my life. I drink good water that's filtered. We eat whenever I can. I get organic. I spend my money on those kind of things. We were talking earlier about just our sources from getting it from a local farmer instead of, whatever you get at Costco or whatnot. Not that that's bad, but if you have the resources, I would rather see you buy less of good stuff than more of bad stuff.
Absolutely.
And I get a massage every single week. It's in my schedule. I get adjusted every single week. And I take time for myself. I will plan a vacation or a getaway. Every year I go away. I just got back. I was in Mexico by myself. I go by myself for 1 week and I just decompress. And I know that everybody's good at home and they all are fine with it. So taking some time, taking some really good intentional time for yourself. I try to get to bed early. I'm a very early riser, but that's my best time in the morning, is the morning when I seem to have the most energy and get things done. Um, I'm a avid pickleball player. I like to go to the gym and do some classes, and um, I I've gotten a lot better the older I get at choosing myself to take care of myself better. It is hard when you have little kids and you're just trying to get through your day and you're tired and they have needs that, you have to attend to. Definitely. And I think like I said, as I've gotten older, I've gotten much better at fitting in these little pieces of time. And I surround myself with really good people in my work. I joke around that I have somebody that comes and helps me at home sometimes. And they're like, "Oh, do you have a nanny?" I'm like, "Nope, she's my nanny." So I invest in that so that I don't have to do all some of the mundane things of like the day in and day out. That's super helpful to me. But that's how I spend some of my resources is that makes me have the time to do the things that I'm good at or that is my skill set or what I'm gifted at so that I can focus on that 20% of my life that makes the difference. And then I can help other people in that way. So that's how I take care of me. But it's been a process. So
Any advice for the women out there that are listening to this podcast today?
I think we just need hope and encouragement as far as like you are doing a good job. There's a lot of demands and stress on us just as women. And especially if you are working at all. I mean, you work hard at home too. And I think it's just to know that we're all in this together, encourage each other, just find the good in anything and everything as best that you can. Even in spite of a stressful world, there's a lot of good things to be thankful for and grateful for. And if you can focus on that, like I'm a firm believer that what you think about is what's going to attract back into your life. And some days that's not easy. But if you can write something down or just be mindful for 10 seconds and flip the story of whatever's happening to you at that moment, as bad as it might seem or stressful, just try to flip it and try to find, okay, there's somebody that would look at my life and think this is the greatest thing ever. And I know it's hard, but everything's a season too. I think when you have little kids, it's very difficult to take care of yourself and to find that connection that you need as a woman, I think too. And I think it's important to surround yourself with good people and to have good conversations and intentional time with that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this conversation today. It is so important. That's a reminder that health is not a luxury. We're all in this together.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Oh. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode. If something we shared sparked a new idea, gave you a fresh perspective, or simply made you feel seen, we'd love for you to pass it on. Share this episode with a friend, a colleague, or a fellow powerhouse woman who's walking her own journey. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Until next time, keep showing up, keep rising, and remember, there's no ceiling you can't break through.